What is up, everybody? I'm Hunter Collins, and in today's video we're going to be reviewing an Mlok GoPro mount sent to me by Xaegis. I had this sent to me, so I'm going to test it out now and tell you guys whether I think you should buy it or not. So let's jump into the video. First, before we get into this video, guys, I just want to mention that this product that I mentioned will be linked in the description below, so if you like it, go check it out. You can also look at other things as well, but I just wanted to say that really quick, so go check it out if you think you might be interested in one. So the company Xaegis on Amazon decided to send me this, so shout out to them for that. But basically it's just an Mlok GoPro mount. So it's supposed to attach just straight onto my Mlok, so I don't need a rail piece or anything like that, which I think is really cool. It just comes in a little tiny box. And we have the attachment itself. One thing I like and don't like about it at the same time is that it's metal, which is good for durability. Like, it's pretty hard. But at the same time, it adds weight to your gun, which, you know, isn't the best thing in the world. But, you know, if you really want that good GoPro shot, then you got to do what you got to do. So let's go ahead and put this on here. Now, I know a lot of times I've experienced with Mlok pieces, they don't really go together too well. So let's see how well this one does. Also, another thing to note, this comes with a little star bit. It's not an Allen wrench, which is no problem as long as you have this, but I know all my guns, like I have a bag, and it's just a ton of Allen wrenches, so if I was out in the field and needed this, it would help me none. So just make sure you don't lose this, or like I said, if you have an extra set of like little star bits, then you're probably fine. Let's see if the Mlok pieces go on good. So the way the one screw's positioned, it is a little harder to tighten, but it's not that bad. I mean, it's something you can deal with. I have all sorts of Mlok stuff that doesn't go together perfectly, so I'm not too worried about that. Now let's turn on, let's put the camera in here. It'll work with just about any GoPro adapter. You just have to make sure you get it in there right. And then one thing to note that I figured out, this piece right here, the piece that comes with like what you buy on Amazon from Xaegis, it's threaded at the bottom. I looked around forever trying to find a piece that would go in the other end or thread to this GoPro attachment, because all my GoPro attachments, they have something that this goes into, and I thought it just wouldn't work, but it is threaded at the bottom, so once you get it in there, just screw it. It'll work, I promise. So let's put that in there. You should tighten it down. And then once you tighten it down, mine flops a lot. So once you get it on, mine has a problem. It wants to just flop really bad, which is not good. You can't really use it like that. So I would say that's not the best feature. Now you can fix that. All you have to do is take a screwdriver and just hand tighten the screw that threads in and attaches both of them through like your GoPro mount piece, and that'll tighten it up. Like, it's very tight now. I can barely move it, which is exactly what we're looking for. Now when I look down it, like, I think that's pretty cool. It gives me, like, it just gives me some cool footage I can get of basically whatever. The only downside to this thing, I would say, you gotta have a screwdriver, at least for mine. Yours might fit. Like, I doubt it, because I know Elliot's tried this too and it didn't work with his casing either. But if a little casing slash housing that fits on your GoPro goes in here just right, maybe you won't have to, but I can't hand tighten this little knob enough, so I have to have a screwdriver to actually tighten the screw. But once I do that, it works just fine. So let's turn on the GoPro and get you guys some footage. I mean, you can see my lighting set up in the Christmas tree. But, I mean, that's basically what it looks like. You can see the end of the gun, which I think is very cool. If you were just shooting, I think this would be a really good angle to look from. I mean, you know, it's kind of like a first-person point of view, which I think this is a very, very cool attachment. I'm going to use this a lot more, especially when we're doing shooting videos or anytime I'm hunting. If I can attach this to my gun, I just think that would be awesome to get that shot like that. And you can also turn the GoPro around on yourself. So if you don't want to see like a POV of what the GoPro's shooting, you can turn it around and get a POV of you aiming and moving the gun itself. And it's pretty steady footage too. It's not like where the GoPro is attached, it gives a pretty, like, it doesn't move much. So it's very smooth when I turn the gun. It's not like shaky or anything. I mean, if my gun's shaky, it will be. But, I mean, I think it does a very nice job of exactly what it's supposed to do, which is record this footage. So, I would say that this is a pretty good investment. It completely depends on what you're doing. Personally, I would say that if there's a 98% chance that you know you're not going to use this, I mean, probably don't buy it. Like, never buy something if you're not going to use it at all. But it's not a bad price. It attaches directly to the Mlok rail, which I like. It's much easier than having to attach it to a rail piece or having to buy a separate rail piece that attaches to Mlok so you can have a new rail to attach that. I think it works a lot better. Goes straight to Mlok. To me, that makes it a lot sturdier than if it was attached to a rail piece. So I would definitely recommend this thing. If it's something you're looking for, if you film videos, or especially if you don't film videos and you want to get into it, and you have like a little GoPro or something, because I know new GoPros are expensive. However, the older GoPro, like I have a Hero 4, the older GoPros aren't like near as bad in price. So I would definitely recommend that if this is something you want to get into, like filming yourself or filming shooting, then go for it. Go for one of these cases. It's much cheaper than like buying a big fancy camera and doing a bunch of stuff. And it's actually going to give a pretty cool footage. Like I said, I haven't had like footage of me shooting this yet, because I just unboxed it and opened it for the first time. But I think that this thing would do a great job out in the field of capturing that footage that, like, it would just be very interesting to me to be able to see first person exactly like what my gun's doing, or even if I turned around and got exactly what I'm doing while aiming. So I think that's pretty much going to wrap it up for this video, guys. Like I mentioned earlier, this will be down in the description if you want to try it out for yourself. Once again, if something you're in the market for, or you want to be in the market for one, I would recommend. It's not that expensive and it works great. Like I said, only downside, you might have to have a screwdriver to manually tighten the screw because you can't hand tighten it enough. But other than that, I think that's going to about do it for this video. If you would do me one huge favor and hit that subscribe button. Oh, you already did. Thank you so much. That means so much to me. You guys have no clue how much it means when you subscribe. It keeps the channel going and it helps me put out more reviews, more cool videos, cinematics, whatever it is, so you guys can see and be entertained and also be knowledgeable about whatever it is that I'm reviewing. So thank you once again for that. But that's going to do it for this video. It's been Hunter Collins, and as always, take someone outdoors.